Goldwing fans, this is my 1994 Honda Goldwing GL 1500 SE. So, like a lot of people, I'm having this issue of surging. Obviously at idle, it's surging around, I don't know, 500 to 750 RPMs. It sounds like I'm sitting there hitting the throttle. And obviously I'm not. And I've checked everything. I've run throttle body cleaner through the carbs. I've done everything you can think of, checked all the hoses. And I still have this problem that persists. And I stumbled upon a website that indicated that the problem is a coolant temperature sensor. And I ordered the coolant temperature sensor. Here it is, and I'll show you. It's right there. And you have to do a lot of removing of items to get to that coolant temperature sensor. And so much so, I still have not found it. You will see that I took off the front lower fairing, took off the right lower rear, the right side fairing. Here's all the parts. By the way, I also did an oil change while I was at it. And I am next, I'm looking, and I believe it's going to be up here, and I've been told that I do not have to remove the radiator. I did have to remove the radiator fan, the electric fan, which is right here. That wasn't that big of a deal. 2 bolts, you gotta unplug it, and you gotta put a nipple in a hole, and you can see that's the hole where the nipple goes in. That wasn't that big of a deal. The problem I'm having is simply locating the coolant temperature sensor. So stay tuned. I'm going to continue the hunt, and then I'll report back. Okay, Goldwing fans, good news, very good news. There was a rubber shroud right there that was covering it, and it's right there. Let me try to get the light so you can see it. So you see the plug with the 2 wires. It's right there. So the good news is, sorry about that. The good news is I'm gonna be able to get that out without having to remove the radiator. So it's right there, and I'm pretty excited about that. So next I'm gonna try to unclip the plug. So I will hopefully edit all this together. Goldwing fans, I did it. I unplugged it, and now I'm going to be able to get a socket over the top of the sensor, and you'll see here's the plug right here, and I'm getting there, people. I'm getting there. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, I'm back, and let me just tell you where I'm at. I have replaced it. The coolant temperature sensor. You can see it right there, the 2 wires that are coming out. After I broke it free, because you have to put a sealer on it because you're putting it into the coolant system, it came right out. It was easy, and the way you get the plug off there's a little clip, you push the clip in and that comes off. I did need a screwdriver to do that, to push the clip in. That was very simple, however. So it went out easy and in easy, and I used a 3/4 inch deep socket. So I did not have to remove the radiator. The mistake I made, I read that somebody said you did not need to drain the radiator, that they only lost about a cup. I lost a lot more than that, so my recommendation would be to keep the radiator in, but drain it. And be careful not to hit the fins with your socket wrench, because you don't want to screw up the fins on the radiator. So next we'll be putting it all back together. I'll let you know how that all goes, refilling the radiator and going from there. Okay. Another point, I'd like to make another point. This is the old coolant temperature sensor that I removed. You can see that there's a lot of crud on it. I did not try to clean it. It's probably a good chance you could. My point was I'm spending all this time to get it out. I don't want to clean it, put it back in, and not have it work again. So I found the coolant temperature sensor on a website for $48 or $49. And for me, it was a good use of money instead of playing with this one. This one being 27 years old, maybe 28, depending on when my bike was made. My bike's a 1994 Goldwing. So it did well for 27 years. I'm going to give it a rest now, and after I check out everything, making sure it works, it's going to hit the scrap pile. Okay, here's the next update. I now know why they recommend removing the radiator, because that fan was very, very difficult to put back in place. Not the bolts or anything. There's only 2 bolts that one can see, and one's right there and one's right there. But getting it in front of those wires and cabling and spark plug wire over here and intake manifold is a bitch. So if you know what you're doing, I drain the radiator and I would take it out, and that would make your life, it would take longer, but it would make your life a lot more pleasant when you go to put that fan back into place. So next up, I'm gonna refill the radiator, top it off because like I said, I lost fluid, and start it up and see what we got before I put all of the fairings back on. So I changed the oil when I started this little project because I had everything apart. I'm going to change the air filter while I'm at it, and we'll see how it goes in about 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, see ya. Okay, I'm back. I started it. I made sure the coolant was up to level. I had to add, I don't know, less than a quart, I guess. And I also had to refill my reserve tank. For those of you who don't know, you have to pull that cover off. There's your radiator cap. You really don't want to screw with that unless you think it's really low. But on this side, that's the cap of the reserve tank, and it's got a measuring plastic stick on the inside of the cap that's attached. And there's 2 markings. The coolant's got to be between both of the markings. Mine was not. So since coolant came out when I replaced the coolant temperature sensor, I took the cap off first, I topped it off, I started it and let the air get out of it, put the cap on tight, and then I filled the reserve tank to the level in between the two marks, closer to the top. Now, that's all the good news. Well, more good news. I see no leaks anywhere. I checked. These are from the job, not from now. There's no fresh fluids anywhere. So I guess the proper, oh, I didn't mention this before. I went and bought a cheap Harbor Freight torque wrench because I figured that was a pretty important amount of foot-pounds on that sensor, and I did not want to strip anything out. So I think it was 20 pounds, or no, I'm sorry, it might have been 9 pounds, but it's in the manual. So definitely I would recommend if you're not an everyday mechanic, and I am not, as you can tell, I would recommend a torque wrench. I bought a cheap one because of how rarely I'm going to use it, and torqued it to the specifications in the manual, and everything is back except for all the fairings. Now, all of that's the good news. Here's the bad news. So it looks to be about a 250, 300 RPM surge, and it's not as bad as it was before I did this little project, but I'm not happy. So if anybody's watching this YouTube and you have a similar problem, or you had a similar problem and you figured it out, can you please post something below. I mean, overall, it wasn't that bad of a job. I mean, once I got the fan out, it was actually quite easy. And just, you know, getting all the fairings off is just a pain in the butt. But I was really hoping that was going to be the fix, since I checked so many other things. So, again, if you have any ideas or you solved your problem, can you please post it here for me and others? And I may get another video, not a separate video, just add to this one now that I'm going to do the air filter. So disappointed.